this isn't about hockey. It's got nothing to do with hockey. That's just what exposed something bad going on here. And you know what? It's an injustice to the whole community, the entire community, for one person's gain to abuse their power. And that's you. It's obvious. I dealt with you 2 years ago at the gala, where you barged in at the meetings, declaring that, you had the right to say this and right to say that, but forget about that. This is about right and wrong. You have abused yourself in the system, and you must be pulled out. Okay? And you guys have to fill in. I know how it works. You two right here, you're the smoking guns. All right? You two pull the trigger. You get behind him, tell him what to do. Nobody else matters. You may make it seem like it matters, but it doesn't. So, for the sake of Ramsey and the sake of decency, just do the right thing.
If my son came home and said to us, I don't think I'm getting enough playing time, whether it be hockey or baseball or whatever it is, my response to him would be, you know what? Then you've got to work harder. And a month later came back to me and said, I still don't feel like I'm getting enough playing time. Then you know what? You've got to decide. You've got to make a decision. Work even harder, because this is life. I mean, this is what you have to do throughout your life. Make decisions. You can't have your mom and dad coming to your rescue all the time. I don't know, I think this is really a shame. And I agree with the kids that got up last meeting and said, who's going to want this job? I don't know. I mean, if this is what can happen, I don't know who's going to want this job. And it's really sad, because I work in Upper Saddle River, and what people are saying is not good. And it really makes me sad, because Ramsey has had such a great reputation. And I would really hate to see this happen to this program. I really would. Thank you.
But my concern is for all of you fine people, that the taxpayers of Ramsey, basically your constituents that voted for you, they voted for you for moments like this. Tough situations, situations that require people from all different viewpoints to participate in. And I have to tell you, I feel very strongly that none of you have had that full opportunity. And that is my biggest fear, because what kind of an example does that set to our young people who might want to aspire to be board members, to get involved? People say get involved, but up to what point are you allowed to be involved? And that's a great concern here, is this process. And there's a strong feeling in the room and in the community that you find board members were not allowed to participate fully in this process. And for us tax-paying residents first, yes, we're hockey parents, but we're tax-paying residents first. We demand more from our elected officials, and you all are elected officials. The question is, do you have the courage? Do you have the moral integrity to stand up and raise your hand when you feel something's not right? Or are you being closed out? Because if that is the case, then this whole hockey thing is just really a pebble in the ocean. We have a much bigger issue here. And that is my grave concern here. Whether we have a hockey team or don't, okay, life will go on in Ramsey. But it's this process that is what's concerning many of the parents now. And I hope, and I do believe that you all ran for this office seat that you hold to basically make a difference and participate in tough decisions. What I need to know is, did that occur in this situation? Now, I know none of you are going to answer that, and you probably never will in front of Mr. Gasparovich and Dr. Murphy.
Will not be renewed. I implore you to reconsider this decision. The legacy of Ramsey hockey, which my son is a huge part of, is at stake. No well-qualified coach will take the position of head coach at Ramsey if they are afraid they will be fired because a player is not getting enough playing time. Without a head coach, you will not get the hockey players. They will run to the parochial schools. Ramsey High School hockey will be crippled. Please, please, please reconsider us.
Yet recently, people with influence use their influence in ways that should not have been used. I will not rehash what has already been established.
The Board of Education, the children have very little faith in you. This is the part that hurts me the most. They have very little faith in you. They do not believe that standing up to you last week will make a damn bit of difference. They are probably right. They believe that you will crucify Coach Portas. They believe that you are the reason that Coach Toy and his staff left. And they believe that you will be the end of the Ramsey High School hockey program. Dr. Murphy, by allowing your Board of Education to cut your AD off at the knees because they crumbled at the berating of some parents, you have set a precedent that they are in fact in control of you. I don't like that. I'm sorry. There is a saying that the fish stinks from the head down. Unfortunately, those at the top seem to be so well insulated that nothing sticks to them. It's always the little guy at the bottom who pays the price. This time, the little guy is our children. It's not only the children who are coming, it's the children who left, that used to stand very proud of being in the Hockey Association, now don't want to be associated with it, are so upset. The ones who have just graduated, trying to figure out what kind of adults they're going to be. This is what they have to look forward to. It's a terrible shame.
Ms. Hunt, please close.
I'm sorry?
You're way over on time. No, it's not.
It will help. You are all heard. They want to be heard, and they want me to listen to be
And
their
you're going
voice.
against board policy.
If you are not careful, this is what will happen.
Let her, Tracy, I'll tell you what you do. Just close up right now. You can come back up after others have their chance. You'll have a chance to finish.
Does anybody else want to speak?
Tracy, just stay there.
I wasn't going to say anything, but as I'm sitting here, I'm getting these articles texted to me that appeared again in the newspaper regarding our town, the embarrassment that we were all feeling. I mean, like I'm here almost, 17 years, and I've never seen anything happen in this town like what's going on. I'm getting this from all other Ramsey, other hockey families. What's going on now? And I know you sit there and you say you can't talk to us, but we're entitled to an explanation. I mean, 2 weeks ago we sat here and Mr. Gasparovich said he had one short conversation with Dean Portas. Now we have texts, we have interactions, we have all this proof. How do we believe what you guys are saying? I think we, as residents, are entitled to an explanation. We need to know what the truth is. I mean, it's embarrassing. I mean, how can you sit there and say, I had one brief conversation with Dean Portas, it was a very positive explanation, and now all of a sudden, all these text messages are on my phone. I didn't put them there. They're in an article. They exist. Please explain this to us. I can't believe all you people went home 2 weeks ago, and I know a lot of you, and you didn't think, wow, I'm on this board. What's going on? You all have children in the school. This happened in hockey, and like somebody said, this is just a pebble. What else is going on?
Doesn't feel right. You have to look at this the picture as a whole. How do you go from state championship to coach and team of the year to sorry you didn't do enough, you're fired, or you're not rehired? It's not right. It doesn't feel right.
He ended up going to Ramsey due to the allure of the program and everything the program stood for and is about. And I feel like kids nowadays won't have that opportunity because they could go to Bosco, they could go to Bergen, because the Ramsey hockey program after this incident isn't going to be as strong. The standing behind the program won't be as strong, and the respect throughout the state and the county won't be as strong. So that's all I have to say.
Has Ramsey Hockey become a program that hands out participation trophies or a program that raises state championship trophies?
Education, primarily their purpose is to oversee a school system, which a school system is primarily made up of students. So I just thought it was important to hear feedback from your students. I spoke last week, or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, and I was hoping that you would make a decision that would be beneficial to us and act in our own best interests. Clearly, it's unfortunate because it feels like you didn't even really listen to what I had to say.
Talk to you about the process if a staff member is dissatisfied with an evaluation. After the staff member meets with his or her immediate supervisor, he or she has the right to meet with me. For example, if a principal meets with a teacher, non-renews that teacher, they have the right to request a meeting with me. Same with the supervisor, same with the AD. That offer still stands. Any staff member can meet with me after they meet with their immediate supervisor. If after such a meeting, I determine to recommend to the board that take action, then the action will be placed on the agenda at the next board meeting. If on the other hand, the superintendent determines not to recommend any further action, nothing else will occur. Some of you asked about the process of advertising for this position. This is about the time, probably a week or so, where we typically go out for our winter and fall sports. We do what is called a notification, it's called a clue sheet, and then we advertise for it. So we're in the time frame in which we normally occur. We'll post the vacancy, we'll advertise, we'll invite applicants, we'll interview the applicants. Why is there a vacancy? Any qualified person would be entitled to apply, including anyone who has held the position previously. That's how the process works, not to talk about any specific process. Position. Transparency. It's very frustrating to me and the members of the board that I am not at liberty to share my reasons for the personnel recommendations that I made. It's clear the law prohibits me from sharing personally identifiable information relating to staff and students. If this means that I'm going to be found guilty in the court of public opinion for failing to explain my reasoning, that is a verdict I choose to live with. I have no ability to fight it without violating student confidentiality laws. All I can do is assure you, the members of the Ramsey community, not only those who have spoken out against what they perceive to be an unfair decision, but those also who have expressed concerns in private and may be too intimidated to speak out in public, that my recommendations are always made with the best interest of Ramsey students and mothers.
Please don't start that. That's not appropriate. That's case for the motion to adjourn the meeting. Jim, all in favor? Aye.
Guess our opinion means nothing, right?